Live from KTVR Fox 31, this is Good Day Colorado.
Hi, good morning and welcome to Good Day Colorado and Happy New Year. I'm Ken Clark.
And I'm Shawl Turner. Happy New Year to you, Ken. Starting out 2007 this morning. And first this morning, when I give you a look at your weather, it looks very, very clear out there, but those roads are icy. I was just driving on them a little while ago, Ken. A lot of folks are still driving on them right now.
Well, and yeah, and you're going to find those neighborhood streets really didn't get a chance to melt at all, so you're going to find that that is going to be the big problem. Today, still hoping for a nice, easy rush. A lot of the banks are still going to be closed, as well as other businesses, so right now you can see there no real problems to mention on the interstates just yet.
Well, this new year starts off with a bang. As gunfire erupts on Spear Boulevard, one person is dead and police are still on the scene.
Fox 31's Melissa Mollet is live at 11th and Spear. And Melissa, what do we know from this scene so far?
Well, we can tell you this all started at 2:20 this morning, and you can kind of see over my shoulder the scene here right now. Very active police still out here at the moment. There are 5 bullet holes in the side of that Hummer limo. Now, we understand the Hummer limo was heading north on Spear when another vehicle pulled up next to the limo, began firing into that limousine. Now, one person who was hit was killed. That person died at Denver Health. 2 others were injured. They were taken to St. Anthony's. Witnesses are telling Fox 31 that some Colorado athletes may have been inside that limo. Right now, though, Spear Boulevard between 8th and 12th in the northbound lanes completely shut down. Now, we did have a driver out here wearing a red jacket that said vintage limousine on the back of it, and police are telling us right now that the suspect is still on the loose.
At this point in time, we don't have a suspect description. We're hoping that we can talk to people, witnesses, and get good information on that.
Now, police out here, they say they're going to be out here for several hours still, and they also tell me that the lanes out here are closed indefinitely. So we do have, as you can imagine, lots of police out here on the scene, as well as several homicide detectives this morning.
Yeah, literally within the first few hours of the new year.
That's right.
Melissa, we'll come back to you as you learn more there on the scene. Melissa Mollet reporting live from Denver.
At 5:02 and new this morning, police are also looking for the driver of a hit-and-run accident. It happened before midnight in the 1600 block of South Buckley Road in Aurora. A man and a woman were crossing the street when they were hit. They were both rushed to the hospital, and police are now looking for a gold-colored Isuzu that might be damaged.
This morning, Denver police are looking for the suspect who stabbed 3 people, killing 2 of them. It happened during a house party in the 200 block of Yates Street in Denver. That's near 2nd Avenue and Sheridan. Police say a fight broke out inside the home, then spilled onto the streets. There was so much confusion after the party, police don't know if they're looking for 1 suspect or 2. The victims' names have not been released. The victim who survived is being treated at a Denver hospital. More information today on a deadly police shooting in Lakewood. Investigators say an officer shot a man because he thought the man's pickup would run over another officer who slipped and fell on the ice. 2 officers are now on administrative leave. A passenger in the pickup has been arrested but hasn't been charged with the crime.
A dozen deaths are now being blamed on last week's storm. Now, most of the victims were killed on icy roads, but National Guard troops managed to rescue more than 40 people. The storm buried roads and with drifting snow and then snapped power lines that fed electricity to thousands of homes. Good news, though, for drivers. I-70 and I-25, both closed in sections because of the storm, are now open in all directions. The storm left behind some big problems in the southeastern part of the state. Cars and trucks are still stuck out there right now. The governor is now working to get some federal emergency funds to help people in that area.
Today, President Bush will pay tribute to the late Gerald Ford. Ford died Tuesday at his California home at the age of 93. The former 38th president is lying in state at the U.S. Capitol. An estimated 2,000 people walked past his casket every hour during viewing hours yesterday. Some of those people say they admire Ford's leadership while in office following the Watergate scandal.
And I guess I remember the comfort, I think. You know, it was such a difficult time, and to have somebody come in like that and kind of restore our confidence in the government.
Today is the last day for the public viewing. A funeral service will be held tomorrow at the Washington National Cathedral, and President Bush will deliver a eulogy. The death toll of American troops in Iraq is now at 3,000. A soldier from Texas became the 3,000th American killed since the war began. This March, it will be 4 years before the start of the war in Iraq. A White House spokesman says the battle against terrorists will continue for, quote, years to come. The spokesman also says American troops have not died in vain.
In our spotlight on sports, the Broncos are now done for the season. San Francisco stopped the Broncos from making the playoffs by beating them in overtime. Now, rookie quarterback Jay Cutler suffered a concussion when he hit his head on the ground really hard. It happened when he was sacked during the second quarter. The Broncos did have the lead in the third quarter, but that's when Cutler threw that interception. 49ers run it in for a touchdown and then took the lead. The Broncos tie the game, sending it into overtime, but the 49ers kicker ends the game by making a 36-yard field goal. Fox 31's sports director Eric Goodman has more about this stunning loss.
The Broncos season started with high expectations. They bolted out of the gate with a 7-2 record and then started to stumble from there. Capping it off, a loss at home in the regular season finale against a team they should have beaten, the San Francisco 49ers. All of that said, the Broncos are done.
And the Broncos season is officially over.
From the start of the season all the way until 30 minutes ago, I fully expected to be in the playoffs and fully expected to go to the big game and win that. I mean, we have the talent here to do that, so I don't think that's a reach, so it's quite a shock.
Inside the pylon, and that is a San Francisco touchdown.
For it to turn out like this, it hurts a lot, and it's a shock, and we weren't expecting this to end like this, and so, you know, we're going to lick our wounds.
Obviously, you know, we got to sit back and look to see what works and what don't work. You know, obviously, you know, we got to evaluate some of the situations that we can put ourselves in, obviously, to be a better team next year.
So now the Broncos turn their attentions towards the offseason. There will be many roster changes and many new draft choices, but one guy who will likely not be here is Jake Plummer. From Invesco, I'm Eric Goodman for Good Day, Colorado.
Now we have to wait until next season to find out if the Broncos are better under Jay Cutler. The Super Bowl will be played on February 4th.
Downtown Denver rang in the new year in style last night.
New Year, everyone.
Fireworks were set off at midnight. Had the Broncos made it to the playoffs, the party would have been even more fun, of course, but most people seem to have a good time anyway. And take a look at that. Estimated more than 1 million people were at New York's Times Square. They braved the cold for a glimpse of the ball drop. Police were also out in full force there. Cops closed the streets around Times Square and used bomb-sniffing dogs. And so, how befitting is this? Our question of the day, what is your New Year's resolution? Ken, I got to hear yours.
I imagine a lot of these, well, I don't even know if I have one yet. I imagine a lot of these New Year's resolutions are dealing with weight and things about how to make yourself healthier.
Yes.
For the new year, new season.
Yes.
I don't really know. Maybe to be a better father, a better husband would be a good New Year's resolution.
Well, but you could not be a better father or better husband because you're the best.
Right.
Isn't that nice to start the new year off?
You can never improve on perfection, I guess.
Okay. Well, we want to hear what your New Year's resolution is. I'm waiting to hear what you're going to do in 2007. So what you do, go to myfoxcolorado.com and let us know. Or you can call 303-566-7601. We'll take a look at what you have to say just before 7 and just before 8.
And at 5:08, many people will have a New Year's resolution to stop smoking, and it turns out many Coloradans are kicking the habit. Women account for a big drop in these numbers. State health officials are giving some of the credit to the nicotine patches they're handing out. The patches come with coaching as well as a 24-hour web support. Meanwhile, sales of cigarettes are up despite the statewide smoking ban. During the first 11 months of 2006, cigarette sales were up more than 9% compared to just a year ago. Nearly 4.6 billion cigarettes were sold from January to November. During the same time period of 2005, only 4.2 billion cigarettes were sold. These numbers are surprising considering the statewide smoking ban went into effect last summer.
A new minimum wage is in effect today across the state. The new wage is $6.85 an hour for non-tipped workers. For workers who receive tips, the minimum wage is $3.83 an hour. Some restaurant owners say this new minimum wage could drive them out of business, so they might raise prices or lay off employees. Restaurants could raise prices as much as 6% to make up for increased labor costs.
And we have a Fox alert on that story we first brought you minutes ago involving the shooting at 11th and Spear. It turns out that cornerback Darren Williams is the one that was killed in that shooting that we will bring you more on from Melissa Millay live on that scene, but this information just coming in at 5:09. We will get back to that story here in the next few minutes. And coming up on Good Day Colorado, meteorologist Chris Tomer has your New Year's Day forecast and a look at the rest of the week.
Also this morning, as of today, your energy bill is going up. We'll tell you what to expect.